Too late, we live. What's up, baby? We back once again. YouTube, Wise Guys on the channel with your boy Cliff and
Love Dr. Samuel.
All right, so we're gonna talk about this topic that comes up a lot, man. It's like the protection of Black women,
Right.
and we are proponents of always, protecting your own. We are about that. I think the disconnect is, at least me. I'm not gonna speak for Sammy. I'm gonna speak for myself. Is that protection comes also at the stewardship of men you deem as your elders or worthy of protection. Meaning this, if I'm going to protect you, I gotta also have the ability to let you know when you fucking up. You understand what I'm saying? So my protection does not come at the behest of you doing what the fuck you want to do, not listening, and then I step in as a superhero. I think that's the conflict of interest we have within our community. And Sammy, you can tell your version. That's just mine. I don't want to project. I just want to say what mine is. But go ahead, brother.
No, I mean, I actually agree with that. It's subjective what, superhero is and when to step in, so, but I do believe that one comes with the other. We should not be expected to come and save you and not be able to tell you what the problem is. It's just like, trying to think of an analogy, comparison. We'll come back to it. But yeah, I don't think that that's something that should happen. But it seems that we have a problem with, or we don't have a clear understanding on when we should step in and protect or what we should protect. So that's what this is going to be about.
Okay, you brought that home the proper way. That's what's up. Okay, so yeah, so that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to reference a few situations. We're going to try to keep this not long-winded. So with that being said, let's get into the content. All right, so we're going to share a few scenarios that we've seen where protection was questioned, or when do you intervene, and y'all make the call about what y'all think past this point. So without further ado, let's get into the first video. Oh man, like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff helps the channel, man.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah, you gotta get that YouTube shit out the way.
Yep.
All right, that's right. All right, so the first one comes to the grams of Insta with these two queens right here rumbling. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it.
It's actually heartbreaking.
You bring on my child? What did you bring on my daughter? You making me mad. You my girlfriend. I don't want to fight you. What did you bring on my daughter for? But I said you being weird. What did you bring on my daughter for?
I gotta say the commentary is pretty funny. You see,
the people outside of them, exactly.
No, the outside comments who were filming it.
Oh, what they say? I ain't even.
Buddy says a nice ass right there. You see what I'm seeing? I mean, I ain't into BBWs like that, but they put together pretty decently with one who's beating her up is. You know what I'm saying? I gotta lead it with that. If I was into BBWs,
yeah,
she got some body parts on her.
What did you fuck off me? What did you bring on my daughter for? Get the fuck off me, because I don't want to hit you on my daughter for. You gonna hit on me, and I'm not gonna hit on you back because you're gonna be my girlfriend tomorrow. I'm not. You brought up my daughter. Dummy, you're my girlfriend. You brought up my daughter. Bitch, you're my girlfriend. You brought up my daughter. Like, you're acting out. Boom. You're acting out. Boom. Die, bitch. That's your first one,
No, I gotta say now, hearing the dialogue when you first sent it to me, I looked at it on mute. Hearing the dialogue, there's a few problematic things going on so far, man. I'll let you go ahead first, bro.
Oh no, expound on what you mean. Yeah.
Well, first, I mean, this is a lesbian relationship, and and shout out to everybody in the community if that's what y'all want to do with your life. So it's like, I understand the need to want to step in and stop that right there. But these are two women who are choosing to deal with each other in that fashion. So that's already like, as far as a non-nuclear situation, what you would call alternative lifestyle. is what they're embarking on already. And one has a clear sense of mind, speaking logically to it, like, you're gonna be my girlfriend tomorrow. Like, what are you doing? The other one's like, you just acting out. And old girl is just acting with no regard. You understand what I'm saying? So there is shit to delve into before we even talk about the protection aspect. You got anything?
No, I totally agree. Like, why are we even here? You know what I'm saying? And the fact that she is she has the present mind to know that this isn't working because we're gonna be back together tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So what are we doing? And the other one still chooses the path to abuse her, and it's not like she protecting herself. So things like that, I feel is more criminal, than just a regular dispute or spat between a couple. You know what I'm saying? Like
the lover's quarrel, basically.
Right. I don't feel like I feel like if I was there, I would have to step in and at least get between them. You know what I'm saying? Because just for the reason that she not defending herself. But let's show them how long it goes, and what happens.
Let's proceed.
You don't have children. You don't know what it is.
Leave her alone, bro. They women. Let them fight. Yo, move, man. I ain't fucking with it. So what? They women, y'all. Let them fight. They women. Let them fight. They in a relationship. So what? All right. Fuck, nigga. You know, my own sister told me if I jumped in when a nigga was whipping my ass, she was gonna call the police and I don't help nobody get. Leave them bitches alone. Let them bitches fight.
So pause it. So my problem with what these weak ass dudes saying is this is not a fight. You know what I'm saying? Like this is not a fight. This is somebody getting beat while they knocked out. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not a fight. If they were fighting, that's their business. You know what I'm saying? Whoever lose. But this person is unconscious and is getting kicked in the face, hit in the face.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's not a fight. That's not a time.
That's not a fight.
Let these bitches fight. Nah, bro, that's weak, and they weak for that. But yeah, I just want to say that.
My commentary is this. Let's say this took place at their house.
Right.
If that's how they engage each other, I understand the disconnect, because disconnected, this is a very dysfunctional entity right here on many levels, as we just kind of laid out.
Yeah.
So I understand, like, that ain't got shit to do with me, but I mean, we talked about this last night again with me having very little background knowledge, and I was very disconnected from it. But watching it again with the verbals going on, I do ebb to more close to what you're saying is that, yeah, you got to step in and break that up.
Yeah.
Like that's, I mean, you don't have to do a goddamn thing, but it is better that you break that up. Even if they go home and do it again, which they probably will, they're a dysfunctional couple, suffering with a lot of issues, obviously. So, but it's like for the sake of knowing you could do something in a controllable variable, you can go break that up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, I lean a little close to what you were saying when I was at first very much against it. But let's play a little bit more of this, and then we're going to go to another example.
Right. Kind of fast forwarded more towards the end.
Okay.
We can go a little further than that. She gonna go. She was gonna try to pull her panties down and embarrass.
Try to embarrass her, yeah. Damn, they threw the joint on the down.
That's funny. that's pretty funny.
So you know what that means? You're making such an ass of yourself that people are treating you as a spectacle.
Yeah, you're a clown.
That's how clownish you look right now. That even street people are looking at you like you're a sideshow. And I think that is a psychosis in our culture that we don't even if you're that mad, you don't know when to stop when you're just a spectacle.
Yep.
You're just a straight up spectacle. And I think that is a bigger problem in our community that we'll watch this video and be so mad nobody jumped in, but we're not dissecting these issues that are in our community that go unchecked.
Exactly. No, I totally agree. And this is ridiculous. That lady is a fucking degenerate. And
there you go. She's a degenerate, straight up.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But yeah, you can move forward.
And I gotta say, man, we gotta normalize shaming this shit. This is degenerate behavior, man. We gotta stop acting like, oh, well, that's just them. This, you from the hood, just like I'm from the hood. This shit goes on more than motherfucking people are willing to accept when you come to a level of success, because you act like it's us versus them.
Right.
We all are quote unquote what you call black people, which I don't really buy into because there's no country named black. There's no culture named black.
Yeah.
But we, there's an understood realm that we all delve into to identify as black. You know what I'm saying? So I don't act like I'm oblivious to what people mean by black. Obviously, it means you're melanated.
Right.
Yeah. Let's proceed forward. Now I gotta say this: why is no woman jumping in and stopping that either?
That's a great question. Well, I think my knee-jerk reaction would be that lady is big as shit and is aggressive. So if they not as big and you're not trying to match that energy, I wouldn't, as a woman, I wouldn't get in the way. I wouldn't suggest you getting in the way.
I wouldn't either.
Yeah.
However, we pitch equality so much in this community. So if equality is so pervasive, like we say, you should step in and be like, sis, what are you doing? Or at least just talk to her. Like in an intimate situation, meaning you're right there with her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, hey, stop, grab her feet, stop. You know what I'm saying? It's ways you can get in without getting in it if that's what you want to do. Let me say that.
I agree.
Hello. You gotta slide over to the car, sweetheart.
And I want to say too, why is nobody calling the police at this point, man? The police are, to me, I say this all the time, man. Police are trash, man. This is trash. You gotta call police to do the trash. I understand the need to want to hop in and do that, but just think about how your day is going before you seeing this shit right here. You want to get to where you're gonna get to your family, your vocation, your relaxation, and you got to deal with some degenerate shit like this. So you got to understand the whole psychology between jumping in and protection and shit like this when you don't care enough about your own situation to be engaging in shit like this.
Yeah, I totally agree. And we don't know if somebody did call the police or not. I don't imagine they'd be there in 4 minutes of what we've seen, but we also know that this shit didn't start when his video started, so.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
His name is.
You get away from my car. You got blood in my fucking car.
Damn, son.
She don't got children. She don't got children. She don't got children. She don't got children. She don't got children.
Fight a bitch.
No shame, man. Look at this shit. No shame, no regard for yourself. You will make a spectacle, and this woman you allegedly love, and I'm supposed to step in and do something about that for your betterment. It's tough, man. It's tough.
That's tough to watch. Like her reason alone, I don't know. Well, she said something about her daughter, and from what I gathered in the beginning, it was. She said, I referenced her and was talking about you. I said something was weird. And her whole reason for going on this, rampage that she's on is because you don't have kids and you don't know how it is. Like, That's your reason for beating somebody like this in the street. That's the whole reason. Like, you willing to risk your freedom because she don't have kids and she don't know how it is.
And she can't speak on your situation.
Right. You just needed a fucking excuse to act how you are. You know what I'm saying? And that's ridiculous, man. And I hope that the police see this and she go to jail and this lady gets the help she needs to stay away from that kind of behavior, you know what I'm saying, from somebody. Because clearly she know that this is how she is and she going to be back with her tomorrow. And that should not be the case. So it's disappointing to see.
Yep. It's the life we live. So is anything else going to be revelatory, or you ready to move forward?
Just her face when she get up, you can see her face.
All right.
How bad she is.
All right, cool. Damn, she hit her with the Zangief.
Yeah. Look at her.
Titties all out.
Yeah. Look at her. Look at her.
All right, let's stop it there so YouTube don't mess us up for nudity. But yeah, man, that's crazy. That's a real situation that we gotta deal with in society.
Like you said, every day.
You said what?
Like you say, it happened every day.
That's real shit. And the reality is, it does happen every day. It does. Again, I'm from Houston, Texas, from a part of town called Acres Homes. The shit I saw growing up, you know, and I'm talking from like a little bitty boy to, 18, 19, going through high school and shit. Man, some people just live life like whimsically. Like, it's like, I don't give a fuck. And it is derivative of a lot of things. Trauma, sexual abuse, poor direction, and what have you. But at the same time, what you understand is people who live upright, people who live a certain way, they tend to look the other way when shit like this coming, because when you engage it, what's going to happen is you're going to inherit that same thing. What they say is when you're on a flight, before you help somebody else, put your own mask on first. And me and Sammy were talking about this premise last night. One of the best ways to drown is helping somebody else who's drowning. So you just got to assess the whole thing, as we go. But I don't want to spend too much time on this. We're going to show you two more examples, and then we'll roll from there. Sammy, you got anything, bro?
No, that's all I have for that. We can move on.
All right, so let's move on. So we're going to talk about these two black women who stole this Uber Eats driver's car, and they ended up killing him. This was recent, actually. So let me do my screen share again.
Yeah, I haven't seen this one. So
share screen.
Uber Eats. So that they wasn't even riding in the Uber then. It was just being delivered.
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
They're teams.
What's going on?
This is my car. This is my car.
Now I will say this: because I think the dude's like 66 years old or whatever. I understand your property is your property.
Yeah.
If I'm that old and I know I don't have the ability to defend myself, I'm letting these two degenerates take my shit.
Yeah.
Insurance gonna pop in and whatever. So I'm not trying to what they call victim blame.
Right.
If I know I don't have the ability to overpower two young teenage girls, I'm gonna let them have it, man. Because whatever they're gonna do, it's gonna be temporary. They're gonna fuck up somewhere, and then you understand what I'm saying. I'm gonna go from there. Now, as I see, Charlamagne gave them dunk the other day, and I think that's light, very light. You got anything before we go forward?
No, so I just see him driving off right now, but I read that he was killed. And you're right. If you can't defend yourself, well, I'm 37 and we 37. And at this point, it's nothing that I have that is worth my life. You know what I'm saying? No possession that I have is worth my life. So somebody try to take that shit.
Take it, man.
I catch it, you know what I'm saying, or not. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not about to stop living. You know what I'm saying, for it.
Yeah.
You know? So
there you go.
He should have I didn't even get to see what happened. I saw him standing up outside and then they driving out. So I don't even know what happened. I can't.
Yeah, we about to get to it. I just want to kind of break it down as it's playing out because like, man, no possession. It was Sammy saying no possession is worth your life, man.
No.
Worst case scenario, they take your car, Joe ride to the gas, run out, and they go to the next degenerate thing that they own.
Exactly.
You go on your family, man.
Yeah.
So let's proceed forward. So that first hit is when he probably died. So that's like a pillar that is hitting and shit. So y'all know what's going on.
So is he still in the car?
He's like hanging out the car. So that's that door hitting hard.
Yeah, he did.
He did.
Yeah, call the cops.
13 and 15 years old, man.
Wow.
Hey, they stole the car. These girls. That's it.
That's him too, right there.
Yep, they're leaving the scene. Getting sympathy. Did you say her phone was in there?
That's what it sounded like she said.
Ooh.
Rewind that a little bit. I'm hoping that's not what she said.
I hope that's not what she said.
Wow.
It sounds like to me.
She said my phone is in there.
So this is how the depraved and detached she is from reality, that you tried to steal a man's car.
Wow.
You took the man's life, and your first instinct is to get your phone out of there.
My phone was in there.
That's crazy, man.
Everybody needs to step back to the scene. That's all what happened.
Motherfucker damn near raised $1 million off of this shit.
Yeah.
You know, and unfortunately, you know, brother had to pay with his life.
His family would be good.
Yeah, but it just shows the gravity of people understand how degenerate these people are, and they feel so bad that they want to give their money at that high of a clip. And then this happened like less than a week ago. You understand what I'm saying? So this, you know, in its own vacuum, let's look at how people treat him at the scene. I mean, now granted, nobody knew exactly what happened.
Yeah,
you see a car wreck, and you don't know the ramifications, but it just shows that. Let's do it again. So that first dude behind the camera, he could have stepped in and intervened. He saw what was going on. You know, dude, like their teeth, they taking my car. So it's like, where does protection come in with this degenerate behavior? And that was the overarching point of this live or this stream rather. So, you got anything?
Yeah, in that instance, I don't see anything that somebody could do outside of, you know, calling the authorities, because I mean, what you gonna do? Chase the car? Or I mean, what can you do? You know, and
some would argue you can go in there and grab them and whatever. Now I know that'd be more protecting the Pakistani guy,
right?
But in the sense though, it's like you're doing something about some degeneracy you see in front of your face involving black women.
Yeah, I it's too many unknowns and too many unknown variables in that equation, and I couldn't solve it like that, you know. So I probably would call the police. But it is interesting that he had his phone on to record. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So if you got the presence of mind to turn your phone on and record it, you can do something else about it as well. So I mean, you can argue that. But if I were there, I don't think I'd run over there. I just wouldn't blindly. I don't blindly run into shit. You know what I'm saying?
Shit no.
Yeah, you don't know what those girls pack in, why they were able to even take the car like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's too many unknown variables to hop in that situation. So it's unfortunate that the man had to die over some stupid shit, you know, just trying to deliver some food to feed his family. But yeah, it's the world we live in. And it ain't they gonna go to juvenile. They can't even go to real jail. You know what I'm saying? So
it's exceptions you can make.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but the likelihood is probably low.
Oh, yeah. see. Somebody life, man. That shit is priceless. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm an ebb towards just unapologetic truth.
Right.
And I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna be completely upfront and honest. Again, me being obviously a melanated person, I love my people. But one thing I'm not gonna do is lie to you. I'm not gonna tell you this shit is normal behavior. I'm not gonna tell you this shit is some shit that need to be protected. Because, and I know what y'all thinking, like, oh, this is extreme cases, this is whatever, and that's valid. However, there are a lot of instances like this where behavior goes unchecked, and these are the manifestations of that mentality. So if you don't check that type of degeneracy, that leads to situations like this, and then when some shit goes awry, they want other people to step in and protect. And again, and my overarching point is you cannot demand protection when your default is acting in this way. You understand what I'm saying? And to bring it all home to a head, this is not the only reference we're gonna do. I mean, let's look at the Megan Thee Stallion situation. Dealing with Tory Lanez. Megan Thee Stallion is bigger than Tory Lanez. Literally as an artist and physically. Tory Lanez is like what, 5'6" or some shit like that. Megan Thee Stallion like 6 foot. You understand what I'm saying? And so, and she from H-Town just like me. She chose to deal with a nigga like that. That's just facts.
Yeah.
And that situation played how they played. I know they both have conflicting stories, who knows, whatever. But what I did see a swell of information is that, black men ain't protecting Megan. First off, that shit happened before we even got wind of it. So protect what? Protect her storyline?
Right.
I don't know what the fuck happened. Why am I gonna side with Megan when she deals with this nigga? She chose to leave her security and deal with him. Why the fuck am I gonna protect it just off the strength of the narrative of what she said from her camp? You chose to deal with the nigga. So at some point, man, some protocol has to be established, man. You just can't be requesting this blanket of help when you, in the same breath, are a liberated woman and you want to go out and just live how you want to live, do what you want to do. No problem, do that. That's that do as thou wilt principle. But when shit just goes unfavorably, you don't get the buffer to run behind men and tell men to handle it for you. When you have the outward behavior, if you can go out and do what you want to do, I'm not having it. The late great Patrice O'Neal had a great story about him and his girl Vonnie, man, and Vonnie was been on the Breakfast Club lately. Patrice O'Neal was like, man, most women got to understand that there's a low let threat of violence in everything you do. He said that his girl cussed some random dude out on the street over some shit, and his response was, and Patrice O'Neal's a big dude, 6'4", 300 pounds, and once he saw his girl getting that dude's ass, he said he walked away. So all that energy she had, once he walked away, her shit went way down, and she pressed him later like, "Why you went behind me, backing me up?" He's like, "Because that's your thing." So what if that dude just decides to punch you in the mouth? What you gonna do about it?
Get punched in the mouth.
Get punched in the motherfucking mouth. So you talking to him like you have the cachet or the strength to deal with the threat of violence that comes with popping off at the mouth. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So if we establish that, what I'm asserting is, again, I'm not trying to victim shame. I'm not trying to do none of that. But I'm saying that if you understood respect and the hierarchy of what you say in a face-to-face situation and what the ramifications are, you will have a better scope of how to handle people. And he said that because I did that to teach my girl a lesson. Like, don't you start popping off and have me handle your shit when you ain't ready to deal with what you're doing. And I think that happens a lot in our community. And I think it is something that needs to be addressed head on and stop bullshitting about this. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead, bro. I feel like I talked about it.
No. You hit it right on the head. Hold on, I'm trying to send it.
I'm about to say, damn, you want to pay attention to the video, motherfucker?
Yeah, no, I'm trying to send our video to
oh, God.
to my client that just left, he actually worked for the SWAT team, and he liked our last one, so
Okay.
Trying to send him this link. Talking about, no, I was listening to you. But yeah, a lot of people had that energy when it's just like when boys be with their partners, you know what I'm saying? They got this they got a lot more confidence in themselves than
Oh yeah.
alone.
Great. I already know where you're going. Cook,
Yeah.
homie. Cook.
Yeah. So that's kind of like what that is, you know. Women, not just women, you know, just people in general.
Now I'll say it. Women do this shit all the time. Put your boyfriend in positions that you want him to handle for you. Go ahead. Say it what it is.
Right. And when it don't quite go that way, you can end up in a lot of trouble. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's best to think before you act, you know what I'm saying? Because one thing that I live by is to respect the unknown. You know what I'm saying? And
bingo.
Yeah, I do not know, no matter what I know, I don't know what you know. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to put myself in a position to be at a disadvantage, because if you don't know what somebody's dealing with, and this is why people don't just fight anybody or just run up on anybody. It's why you shouldn't. You know what I'm saying? Because that could be Bruce Lee right there, and you got hands, and his hands are a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? Or he might be the type like you got hands, and everybody know, which is what happened to Mivio. You remember Mivio, huh?
Yep.
What happened to him? Everybody knew he was boxing. You know what I'm saying? He had hands, so he calling them out one by one. I got these hands. And those niggas was like, nah, and shot him. He was like, we ain't finna fight you. You know what I'm saying? So when you might feel like you got an advantage, you know, at some point somebody might know they have a different one. And since you don't know what that is, it's best to stay safe than to be sorry, you know. And we see that way too often in our community. It's like, damn, we wish that wouldn't happen. And people like Cliff and I, we like, well, that shit didn't have to happen. You know what I'm saying? And we could tell you exactly why. And people like, well, it's always excuses after that. But in reality, that shit never has to happen. And we got to deal with that. You know, and we got to start there and start dealing from that space, because if we do, we can stop a lot of it from happening. But if we allow excuses to control the narrative, you know what I'm saying? And like people to be sorry because Lil Ray got shot because he ran in somebody's house. No, Lil Ray shouldn't have ran in that house. Yeah, we talk about that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not wearing his shirt. You know, I'm not
putting that shit on.
Yeah. So
and I'm not fucking bigging his mother up. Let's be. I want to get all the way to the crux of this shit. A lot of single mothers are at the vanguard of these people that we raise right now. And I'm not saying sorry ass dudes ain't got nothing to do with the equation. I'm not saying that. But the company line is what they pitch to you is single women out here being both parents. They out here playing mother and father. Bullshit. Single mothers are raising the worst of our kind.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
facts. Yeah. Statistically speaking,
are raising the worst, reading at third grade levels as grown men. 10 times more likely to be incarcerated than any other race. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Women who have no sexual discipline or no sense of how to be a wife to a man. And that's why 3/4, that means 75% of our women die unmarried. 75%. When before the 60s, it was 80% that were married. So we can't keep glossing over the real just because, I mean, and so just to tell you how real we are, me and Sammy have argued, you know, I'll leave the name out of this, with a white woman who was telling us how we're being too hard on black women. And what our discussion was, how the fuck you gonna tell us how we being hard on women that we know, understand, love, respect, view on a daily basis? Who are you to tell me how I assess what I've seen my whole life?
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying? And we got to just, as a community, we got to cut this shit out, man, because we're approaching life from an infantile state, meaning we are so scared to call people out for realness that it's not helping shit. It's not helping a goddamn thing. And before we go to the next reference, man, what you got for us, Sammy?
No, I agree. It's just the fact that we coddle this type of behavior, it stifles us. You know what I'm saying? And us as a community, we repeating these same cycles. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Bingo.
only thing that's happening is we getting older and cycling out, and that's what's happening.
Bingo.
And that's scary. You know what I'm saying? Like, when we talking about the future and how we care about our kids and what's gonna happen for them, like, we not changing shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because you got older and stopped doing stupid shit, it don't mean shit change. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to actively, well, first you change yourself, you know, and then take part in discussions like this, and then apply it in day-to-day life. If you see a kid out there messing up, you know what I'm saying? Like, talk to them and let them know. You never know what you say to somebody can do for them. You know what I'm saying? And I know a lot of people gave me game when I was younger. Some I took in, some I didn't, you know. But I appreciate all of it now, because I understand that they didn't have to do that, you know. And second, they understood, they had the foresight to know that, look, man, I want you to be better, and this is how you do it. I know you can't see it, but you will eventually, and this is the path to go on. The fact that they gave that to me lets me know that they didn't have to tell me they cared. That's how you show people you care. You know what I'm saying? And we have to show people we care, which is why we made this channel. We made this, like we said, it's directed at men, and it's because we want us as men as a whole to be better. And the only way we do that is by dialogue. You know what I'm saying? Like, speaking what we think, speaking what we know. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like us as a community, man, we keep running into these same walls, you know, and we feel like, oh, it's gonna change now. But what did we say? What did we say when George Floyd? What did we say was gonna happen?
When a motherfucking thing gonna change. It's what we said in real time,
bro. We said in 2 weeks this is not gonna be a discussion, which it was not, because something else came up, like it always does. And then
I think like Will Smith and Jada Pinkett entanglement came up after that.
There we go. The entanglement, and then the Will Smith meme with him looking stupid, sitting there talking about how his wife did what she did. No, but that's neither here nor there. We knew it would happen. So what we saying, but y'all, and when I say y'all, I mean the people that just
you
knew.
niggas. That's what I'm saying. You know, cigars, you niggars. Go ahead.
Nah, y'all were so sure that this was gonna be different this time.
This video is gonna go so long. Oh man, I know it. Go ahead, man. Oh man, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, you just knew that it was gonna be different, and ridiculed us for telling you what was gonna happen.
Oh my God,
y'all some coons, and y'all this and that, and because we understand the patterns and the cycles, because we understand that, and you don't, and you get caught up in the moment, you get emotional about the moment and can't see outside of that moment. We the coons. But look at it now. Look at it in real time right now. What's going on? What's changed? What's different outside of these companies making more money because they support Black Lives Matter and all that shit. They put Black channels on, well, Black stations or programming on Amazon Prime and
no, they're just highlighting what's already on there. They put it at the vanguard. It's already on there.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? What's changed outside of that? You know, I don't see a damn thing that's changed. But maybe that's from my vantage point. What about you? Have you seen it?
What they do is, man, listen, man, it's an easy play with us. You give us, instead of give us nutrients, something that will help you move forward, something to build, something to gain. They give you candy. Candy tastes good. Candy tastes good. It tastes really good. That's like the best tasting thing in the world.
Right.
So when you get candy, you get the mental fruition that you got something good. But as we know, those are zero carb sugars. Like, it does nothing for the greater good. When you teach you how to grow your own fruit and plant things that are fruitful, that is what is healthy. That is something that's going to lead you to something towards something, you know, that's going to make you better.
Right.
We as a community like candy. We like candy at every turn.
Mm-hmm.
Now, sometimes candy turns into mounds of candy. So what you saw with the Black Lives Matter movement when it's at his apex, in my opinion, was about this time last year after George Floyd.
Mm-hmm.
It was just you got like 3 baskets of candy. That's all it was candy. And I'm gonna share some of me and Sam used to go live on Facebook, like in moment, saying this shit. And we getting called everything next to the son of gods, with the sons of God. And y'all gotta understand, man, the play don't change. It's always gonna be what it is, and I don't care if you like it or not, because what I've learned is I don't operate on the level of if somebody like what I gotta say or not, because the reality is gonna stick, whether it's abrasive, whether it's true, whether it's false. And you see no further than like Kevin Samuels trying to help a lot of women out here in this dating market. When you don't have to agree with everything the man says, but what he basically does is let you women understand how the dating market is for men. Like, we know we got to perform. We know we got to be physically fit in some capacity. We know we got to be attractive. We know all this shit. Like, you learned at a young ass age if you weren't good enough. So if you play sports, you had to make varsity, make junior varsity. You knew, man, it was cutthroat. You had to learn, like, at a young age, you're not fucking good enough. Women don't get that same stage. They tend to bring as much as they can on for inclusion. Men learn that at a younger age. So what Kevin Samuel serves as is a vessel to let you know what truth is and how the world views you. So that's what our channel is, an offshoot of that same premise. Is like, listen, man, don't be going around lying to yourself. And one thing I'm not gonna do is to my people, I'm 37 years old. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Everything I've gotten, I had to go out and do it myself. You understand what I'm saying? And y'all got to do the same shit. And for my ladies who watch the channel, because y'all do watch the channel, I look at the analytics. And I appreciate y'all for that. Hard truth is where growth, starts, man. And so we got to get out of this bubble that, equality, beautiful thing, no problem. But not equality at the expense of fucking accountability. That's where life exists.
Bingo. No, I always tell my clients there's no growth in comfort. You know what I'm saying? And we have to we got to get comfortable with being uncomfortable, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? And we'd rather be comfortable. It's like, nah, I'm good here. And I can reference someone like my mom, she's very comfortable where she is right now. And my goal is to make her uncomfortable, because that's going to push her to keep growing to her full potential. You know what I'm saying? And that's not like she's doing terrible or anything like that. I'm just saying, as a close example, of somebody being comfortable and okay versus reaching a max potential. You know what I'm saying? We only get this life. I don't know what happens after this. We only get this life one time. You know what I'm saying? So we need to maximize the potential in this life while we got it. And we don't know when it is. We only know when it started. You know what I'm saying? So with that being the case and time being against us, we need to use every bit of it that we have to make the best life that we could possibly do, and have, and get. And we're not going to do that by being comfortable. You stay in this circle at this size, it's always going to be this circle, this size, unless you push the boundary.
Expand it out. Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you have to expand it. And when you do that, it's not going to be easy. You try pulling something that's, you know what I'm saying, that has a lot of resistance. Keep pulling on it. Then it gets easier and then it starts to move. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what life is. That's how your life is. And you have to push yourself to grow. And we're not doing that enough. And like Cliff said, we're not holding ourselves accountable. And that's where it starts. If you're not accountable, it ain't nothing is going to propel you to growth, because you don't even think it's your fault. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't had shit to do with it. It's everything but, you know what I'm saying? And it's not me. You have to say, damn, that's me. And I'll tell you, for me and Cliff, that's when we realized shit had to be different. When we said, damn, that's me. Like, I got to change this shit. And we changed it. You have to do the work. You can't get by the work. That's what
you got to do work. And man, and my best analogy before we sign out, man, and we didn't talk about the situation with this young lady, black woman who was racing and crashed a car, killed this elderly white couple out in where's this?
It was Dallas, right?
Dallas.
Yeah.
right? And she got on Instagram and started talking shit about that bitch got in my lane and blah 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 blah. Yo, so we gonna leave that alone. But we're just saying there are reference points for this whole premise that we're talking about. But what you're saying about putting the work in, my analogy is this. When I was in 7th grade, the first week was in boys athletics. That's basically like the kids that they said that the 6th grade teachers deemed as, okay, these kids are athletic. They're going to be good candidates for, sports in 7th grade. So in boys athletics, the best of the best from the 6th grade gym teacher perspective were placed in this class. Remember, like day 3, right before football started, they asked us to run a 400. So if you don't know what the 400 is, that's one time around the track. And we was like, we do this shit. And man, Shotwell Middle School. If y'all know where I'm from in Houston North Side, man, I remember gunning that bitch. That first one, like, this shit easy. Boy, about halfway through, like, oh shit. So you saw real quick those who were prepared and those who were not, no matter what your athleticism was, because your endurance was not built up. So the first time I didn't finish it. I started walking. I was gassed. I thought I was gonna die. In my mind, I was gonna die. Right. By the time I left Shotwell Middle School, I could run 4 of them shits in succession. I could run. So that's a mile. So when you run 4 times around the track, you can run a mile. I could run 4 of them shits by the time I left because I put the work in. I built up my endurance and I built up my overall mental state to deal with more of a workload. And that's why I think it's devoid in our community in so many aspects, because either A, nobody's there to train you, B, you don't have the wherewithal, or C, you're such of a degenerate that you don't even want to listen to a good perspective of somebody telling you how to run a 400. And the 400, from a proverbial standpoint, is your life. So by the time I got to high school, I could run a mile. I knew how to run a mile. The prerequisite has been laid. Now, I may not have been the fastest to run a mile, but I could run a mile without fucking passing out and dying on the goddamn side of the track.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And so, but that was cultivated from 7th grade when I learned perspective. And I think as a people, until we learn how to run a mile, 2 miles, 3 miles, is what you call marathons. From a mental standpoint, we are always going to be at the vanguard of somebody else's perspective or somebody else's direction, until we learn to put the work in. And from the work is, we got to clean this shit up, man. So if you want protection, ladies, understand that you got to deal with your men in a certain sense of regard, man. Because if you don't, the same dudes, like them dudes laughing, like, damn, that's some nice ass. That's some nice titties. They're going to sit there and view you in the sense you want to be viewed, instead of stepping in and breaking shit up like that, where that should exist. And I do want to say that before you close this out, Sammy.
Yeah, no, I think that was a great analogy, and I have one almost the same. You can put it back to the split screen.
Don't tell me what to do.
Man, doing something not video related. No, I think that was great, because I was actually one that was, and I think just comparing it to people, I was one that was in 8th grade at a track meet, and I didn't run. I was always fast, but I didn't run. I wasn't the fastest, like sprinters. I was just fast, like regular fast. But I was a jumper, triple jump and long jump. So at this particular track meet, we didn't have anybody to run the 400. Now, coach puts me in there in the 3rd heat, and I was supposed to run by myself. So a guy from the 1st heat missed his heat, and he had to run against me in the 3rd heat, just us 2. This is my first time ever running. I never practiced it in anything. So just like you, take off, gone. I'm like, man, he tripping. I'm gone. Talking about booking it. This is like the first 150 yards. I start slowing down. He come just going right by me. I'm talking about, he must have beat me by 200 yards probably. He beat me by, it was embarrassing. Like, I was just trying to make it to the finish line. I didn't quit. I was just trying to make it to the finish line. And my Ron and them, they was inside the track running on the side of me, laughing at me and stuff. And I say all that to say that when I finished that race, I never ran it again, because I felt like I was thrown into a fire that I was not prepared for, and I got embarrassed. So I say that to relate it to how our people are when they're not prepared for what life has to come. You know what I'm saying? Or has to give them. And when we saying like, look, this is what you got to do, it's easier said than done, because we throw them out there not prepared. They're going to get hit harder with life that they thought they was able to handle, and they're going to run away from it. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, I'm never going back there because I know how that feels. You know what I'm saying? So for you at that point, you was like, dang, this is embarrassing. I got to learn how to run this mile. It's one perspective. Me, I was like, I'm doing something else that's working, which I was comfortable with running, track, jumping, and they threw me into the race, what I wasn't able to, succeed at. And I was like, nah, I'm done with track. I quit track. I'm not again. And I never ran track again. You know what I'm saying? I could have been good at it, but I never wanted to do it again. And I feel like and this is why I say all that to say, this is why we have this show, because we want to massage it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we want to make sure that you're able to get out there and actually succeed, and not just say, look, this is what you do. This is how you do it. Go do it. And then you go fall on your face, and then you never want to try it again, because you will not try it again. You know what I'm saying? And our life is not that long to where you have this space where you can actually go out here and be at your max capability, you know what I'm saying, to win at life. We 37, so we still in our prime years, but pretty soon when we get to 40 something, we going down, you know what I'm saying? And we're gonna have to start living off what we did in these years, and we understand that, you know what I'm saying? So we want to make sure that y'all understand too, because when it's too late, it's too late. You ain't buying no time. I don't care how much money you got. Steve Jobs died. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't buy the time. So you need to understand that, do what you can, and we're going to give you what we got while we got it. So that was why I had to say that, because that 400 reference, I was like, you did the same shit, but I quit.
Yeah. Well, I would say this, man. I quit track in 8th grade. Now, this is after I learned how to do it. I knew I was going to be a basketball player. I knew who I was.
Same.
I remember quitting track in 8th grade in a track meet, running 800, and somebody scratched. So we ran, and boy, I burned all my shit. I was ready. Boy, we came back to the start line. I was tired of shit. I was like, fuck this. They hit that gun, man. I went at the first 100 yards, and I just act like I twisted my ankle. Boy, I was lying like a bitch. I like fuck track. I ain't running track no more. Man. I made a decision at a track meet, man. If y'all went to school with me, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about, man. I pulled up and I was lying. Everybody feel sorry for me. I ain't gonna lie. I feel so bad because I didn't want people to feel sorry for me. I just did not want to run the fucking race. Like I'm done. I don't even like this shit. I'm just doing it because in boys athletics, you're encouraged to do every sport.
Yep.
I get it, man. You know what I'm saying? So this is a funny little anecdotal backstories about
right.
This. Man. So, all right, man. So it's another episode, man. I hope y'all digging it, man, like y'all usually do. Man, like and comment, share the videos. Those all help, man. Hit the notification bell, because we want y'all to be on as we do these, and some of those y'all are on these, and so we want to do that as we move forward. Send me anything as we close.
Nah, man, we just really appreciate y'all and understand what we saying is from the heart and mind. You know what I'm saying? And we just want y'all to do better as we want ourselves to do better. So appreciate y'all rocking with us, and catch y'all next time.
There we go, man. Peace, y'all.